you choose your hard. Like,
you do.
You're either
Yeah,
going to choose the hard thing of meal planning, getting your steps and all that stuff now, or you're going to choose potentially like medical disaster and medical bills and not having the mobility to go on the floor and all the things later. So I would rather choose the hard now where I'm getting to choose it versus it being chosen for me.
Hi, welcome to the Women of Joy Show. I'm your host, Maegan Waldrop-Swindling, and today we are talking all things meal prepping, health, organization. As you're getting ready for back to school, we want you to be ready to do it. I know that is all the talk at our house this week. I am introducing you to my new friend, Heather Brown. Heather is a health coach, podcaster, author, all the things, and she is here to share with us how we can reset, what we can do, plenty of practical tips. So I hope that you enjoy my conversation with Heather Brown. All right, Heather, welcome to the Women of Joy Show.
Girl, thank you so much for having me. I'm like, we have so many connections, y'all. We've talked for 21 minutes already. We're like, oh, we should probably start.
Yes. No, it's so fun. I love even the person I was with last week you went to high school with. So
wild,
fun.
the connections.
Shout out to Heather. What got you to where you are now? You're a health coach. Your first book is about to come out. Like how did you land here in this world?
Yeah, great question. So long story short, I feel like the Lord has just been abundantly gracious to me. I was a first generation that went to college in my family. I'm a mom of two, Christian health coach, like you said. I taught Pure Barre for about 10 years.
I love Pure Barre. That was my thing. Yes.
Oh gosh, it's the best. I love it so much. But anyway, all that to say, I just feel like I'm a dinosaur blogger. When people ask me like, how did you grow that Instagram? I'm like, well, I've been blogging since way before there was an Instagram. So dinosaur blogger in the making. And then as things have just come up in my life and as new platforms have come out, I've just been an early adopter and been like, what do I need to hear? What's helping me in life? And then trying to share that message with my audience. So in the beginning, I had a coupon blog. And so it was all about this is how. Yeah, I know. Coupon queen era.
Yes.
But my husband and I would be on a $40 a week grocery budget while he went back to school. Yep. And so I shared that journey.
Pre-kids or post-kids?
This is pre-kids.
Okay,
yeah.
pre-kids.
So we started like just sharing, this is how we're saving money. This is what that looks like. And then I kind of outgrew that phase as far as like, I just wasn't driven and excited about sharing it anymore. But then I went through a postpartum depression situation after I had my firstborn, had a 4th degree tear. And then just, your priorities shift when you become a mom. And so then my audience, leaned in and wanted to hear more about that. So again, I just was sharing my messy middle and what the Lord was doing. And then he has kept refining me all throughout it. And so now the brand is just bigger than what I started doing this when I was like 22. I couldn't imagine all that has come from it now at 40.
But so much fun when you have people that we say like grew up with you, right?
Yes.
That have been with you from the beginning and
yes,
are loyal, and that's so awesome.
Absolutely.
So now you're helping all women, not just moms, I would say, from your brand, like everybody focus on this obsession that our culture has with health and what that looks like. And
yes,
all of the protein, all the things, like it's just constantly all the things.
It really is.
But you talk about the difference, like it's not about perfection, it's about preparation. When you say that, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, I just want to address the elephant in the room that I feel like it's very important for women to hear me say, because I think a lot of times they hear health coach or that they're like, oh, you work out all the time. Like, ugh, like she just has it all together or whatever. Y'all, I so don't, number one. And number two, I think that what the Lord has taught me so much through having postpartum depression, through having, the 4th degree tear, through literally sitting on a donut crying 14 times a day was that health is messy, and that ultimately like what the Lord wants from Heather Brown and from you, listener, is just to live out your most intentional day in God-designed health. And what does that look like? It doesn't look like what you said, perfection. Is that what you said? It doesn't look like perfection. It means saying, okay, Lord, like this is my day. This is my week. how can I best honor and serve you? How can my family best honor and serve you? And so intentionally, I try to take women through the very basic first step, which is, what is your why? And for everybody, that's completely different. For me right now in this season, my why for staying healthy in mind, body, and spirit is that I want to live an intentional life for my kids. I want to be able to keep up with them. I want to be able to jump on the trampoline and not have to sit down. I want to be the race you to the car mom. And one day, Lord willing, I want to be able to be the grandmother who can still volunteer at VBS and have the energy to do it. And I can still get down on the floor and play with my grandkids. And so I think that a lot of this comes from taking off the perfection and like the mask of like, I've got to weigh this certain amount and I've got to be this certain amount of body fat percentage. Which, I mean, of course, I'm a woman. Like, do I struggle with those thoughts occasionally? Of course. But I think that the Lord has been so gracious to teach me through so much loss that I've had in the past 5 or so years that it really is about just surrendering my health to Him and saying, Lord, what do you want from me and my family? And we can talk practicalities about what that looks like. But I feel like I've been able to lean away from perfection because I just realized the older that I get, the more messy life is.
It's so messy. And the standard, I mean, we were talking about how I've been in a riding hole, but like the unwritten standard, like the standard that we don't even really know what it is. It's just the made up standard that women have in their mind. But what about this idea of survival mode? Yeah. Like so many of us, and I feel like it's, for me at least, it's seasonal. Like there are seasons where I'm surviving, but there are seasons where I feel like I'm thriving and I have everything organized. But most women, the more research I'm doing, are stuck in that survival mode. Like the only time that they have that they come up from it is on their cell phone to scroll TikTok or Instagram.
I know.
And so what do you say? Well, first of all, why do you think so many women are in that cycle? And then how do you think, as far as the preparation piece, we break out of that cycle?
Yeah, for sure. So I think that initially you asking that question, I think about my chiropractor and naturopath. I wish I could remember the exact number he said, but he was like, ultimately, your body is designed to be able to handle, let's say maybe it's like 7 to 10 inputs per day. Well, how many do we get today in modern culture? I mean, hundreds or thousands, y'all. Like our nervous system just wasn't designed for that by our creator. And so why women feel like they're stuck in survival mode is because literally if you wake up in the morning, and I mean, guilty as charged, I do this too. My phone is by the bed, the alarm goes off, and the first thing you do, Lord, please help me. Like I'm still actively working on this, but it's to not get on my phone and let the group me messages and the field trip messages and the emails and the texts and all the things that come at you, like that automatically sets your nervous system up for, instead of finding rest first thing in your day and operating out of gratitude first thing in the morning, it's okay, manic panic, like
or fight or flight, like before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Before 8 o'clock.
Oh, before 7 o'clock sometimes. Y'all, I'm like, woo, watch out, Lord.
Yeah.
So anyway, what we're up against right now is that we're having that on button hit first thing in the morning to panic and go into that mode you're talking about. And then we don't come off of it all day long. We just go, unless we intentionally start putting little breaks in our day that help us reset, or if we start putting guardrails up about that first thing in the morning. So these are just some small things that I've started doing, but you can actually activate on your phone a red light mode. Have you seen this little hack yet? It's in your settings, but you can change the gradient of your phone. So at night, I have a alarm set where I push, it's the, on the right side of your phone, you push it 3 times and I can automatically set it to that red light mode. So then that automatically is not putting all the blue light into my eyes, telling me like my circadian rhythm is now getting all out of whack. So I try to do that red light each night to help me start decompressing. And then first thing in the morning when I wake up and I see that red, it's almost like in my mind, it's like a red means stop.
Yeah.
Like
it is.
The alarm went off, but red means stop. You can't do that until I get up, I open my blinds to get that morning sunlight hitting my eyes right away to set my circadian rhythm for the day. And then I try to say immediately, like, Lord, I'm entering this state of prayer immediately. I want you to shape my mind before the phone does for the day, and telling him 3 things that I'm grateful for. And y'all, that is one of the quickest, most efficient ways to reset your nervous system first thing in the morning, every single morning. And the days that I don't do that, I feel like my anxiety is up, that manic panic mode is on. It's all the things.
No, it is. Yeah.
I'm like, did I even answer your question?
No, you did. You did. And leading into that, like as you talk about health on all your platforms, you don't separate the physical from the spiritual. Like when we are spiritually healthy, that helps us be physically,
absolutely,
and vice versa, right? And so there is such thing. I mean, I'm a social worker by degree. Like there is very much such thing as depression. I do think though, what we're talking about, if you can start to do those things and get out of bed and be active, just moving. I mean, just the science around just moving your body matters. But why did you choose, or what made you really lean into not differentiating, like a lot of health coaches do, the spiritual from the physical?
Yeah. I really feel like the Lord brought to mind for me in Mark where it says, for you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. And me and my boys, we do this with like motion so we can remember it, but like with all your heart and with all your mind and with all your soul and with all your strength, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So to me, that means the Lord is showing us that he has made us as a holistic being. And you talked about depression a little bit. Y'all, I just was reading this study, and I wish that I could remember the exact like date and who all did it. But essentially in this study, they had one group of people that took anti-anxiety and antidepressants. And then they had one group of people that just moved their body 30 minutes a day outside. And they said that the people who just moved their bodies outside had either the same amount of improvement as the people on the prescription antidepressants or greater improvement. And I just think that that is so wildly powerful. And so I think that while I think as a believer, I can very easily, it would be so easy to just like follow what the world says. And unfortunately, where Christian leaders in the church isn't willing to speak into, Satan is more than happy to. And so to me, it's very important to say that mind, body, and spirit health are all, that's how God designed your body. And he set us up where, I mean, Maegan, you know this, but like he created Adam and Eve out in the garden and they were in natural light. Most people now live 90% of their time indoors. Inside. It's not how God designed it. And then, you know, God made food for us in the garden and with, you know, protein and animals. And instead now we're eating ultra processed, chemically laden foods that are not healthy for us. And you know what? That does make you, unfortunately, physically weaker and physically sick. And so I think that it's really important to me to point back to, this is what the Lord designed. This is why mind, body, and spirit are all interwoven. And ultimately, like, are you doing this, like we said earlier, to get back to your why, to be 5 pounds lighter? Well, guess what? That's not going to last you very long.
Right.
But if you're like, Lord, I really am giving you my body. It is your, like, it's a temple of the Holy Spirit. I want to honor that. What does that look like? And you're leaning into what he says. It's like, I don't want to give you an exact blueprint. I just want to give you tools to ask him what he wants from you and your family, you know?
No, that's good. And I think too, our bodies, especially if you're between 35 and 65, like it's not going to be consistent. Like it's a false hope to say, oh, I'm going to be this weight and stay this weight for, like, it's just not reality. Because of hormones, everything is shifting, but we're not going to be consistent with our weight and who we are. And so I do better if I own that up front, right? And go, okay, this is not going to be consistently like I would like for it to be.
Exactly.
But we're in this phase, and this is really what I've been studying, so I'm interested to hear your perspective on it. The selfishness, like it's considered selfish to have self-care and be a Christian woman. On the flip side of that, we see all of these extremes where women are, something flips, right, with our hormones in our 40s, and women are leaving their husbands, and they're like, it just 69% of divorces within that time frame, one study I was looking at, are caused by women. Like women are saying, I don't want to do this anymore. What do you think is the relation to that obsession? It's like women find health during that period. Like, have we not been looking for it? Like, what what can we do ahead of time before getting to that phase? I know a lot of our listeners are there, but if you're listening to this earlier on, how can we prepare to get to that phase and not just wake up one day and decide to care?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of women do that. It's like, oh, I've got to care now. My cholesterol's high or whatever.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think that really it just starts with baby steps. I think that, like, I already told y'all that I taught Pure Barre for about 10 years. And so back then, I mean, I probably did have a pretty selfish view of health. Like, I wanted to look a certain way, do a certain way, be active, all the things. Then, you know, you have a baby, things start changing. And I think that for me, and everybody's stories can be different, but I'll just tell you like my why and how this all started. But for me, when I had Leighton, like, I was used to being the Energizer Bunny. I would literally wake up in the morning, go to my 8 to 5 job, work at a meal planning company, all the things. And then I would leave there. I'd go straight to Pure Barre. I'd teach a class. I'd take a class. I wouldn't get home till late at night. My husband and I would eat dinner. And then I'd stay up until midnight working on my blog at the time, and then go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. And so as an extrovert, an Enneagram 3, all the things, like, I think I found a lot of my self-worth in all those things. And so then fast forward to I had Leighton. And like I said, 4th degree tear, which if you're not familiar, that's the worst tear you can have. It's one end to the other.
I was like, that's basically all of it.
So anyway, and then I had Leighton, and I really struggled with breastfeeding too. And I remember laying in the hospital bed after I had him, and
Did
the nurse.
Did you get mastitis?
Oh, yes. And dried myself up.
I didn't even know that was, they were so sick.
I like don't even have words. I don't even have words. Like, I'm not even a cusser, Maegan. Yeah. And every time he would latch too, like, I would like be so biting my tongue not to just hurl profanities into the air. It was so painful and bad, all the things. And one of my friends then told me to put cabbage leaves in my bra to help with the pain, but that dries up your milk. Did you know that?
Well, I was trying to dry my milk up, and then my milk came back at that point. That was like you had well down the road. I had the opposite problem later, but anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So anyway, all that to say, horrible first pregnancy delivery situation. And y'all, all I can say is that I did not want to be brought to ground zero. I did not want to sit still. And my husband kept telling me, Heather, your only job right now is to heal and take care of the baby. Like, you're doing great. You're doing amazing. He was trying to be helpful and encouraging, but I was like, I don't want to find my self-worth in this. I don't want to like have that be my only job. And so what the Lord started to slowly build there was, I thought, like, okay, well then what is, because in my mind I was like, I have to rebuild my health and everything from the ground up. I mean, now it's like I can look back and see that. At the time I didn't know it, but I was like, what can I do that's like one thing each day for my health that I can do? Because I can't even walk. My doctor said you are not allowed to walk past the mailbox for 6 weeks. Okay, y'all, like, and as someone who unintentionally put a lot of my I guess like the way that I coped with stress was exercise, and that got taken away from me. And so again, the Lord revealed to me, like, where are you putting your reliance? And like, it wasn't on him. So step one was I did not even have the bandwidth to open my Bible. I couldn't go to church because I was basically bedbound. So I started with ground zero was I can drink water. That literally was like where I started my health journey, was like, I can drink water again. And y'all know that like big pitcher they give you when you first come out of the hospital. It's like, my job is to drink 2 of those every day. And then the next layer that I started building in was I was like, I'm realizing, again, going back to mind, body, and spirit health, that health isn't just me moving my body at Pure Barre. It actually was the community there that I needed.
Yeah.
And so it's like God tells us in the Bible, like, we were designed to live in community and with in the church and like with close community, and I was isolated. So I started looking at my Take Them a Meal online and seeing who was coming each Sunday and texting those people and saying, hey, I know you're being so kind to come and bring me a meal, but I didn't say this, but in my mind I was thinking, I'm so lonely.
Yeah.
So
like, I need you.
Would you please actually just come and hang out with me for a little bit? Like, could you have coffee with me, or could you, you know, chat with me while I'm nursing or what have you? And those 2 things became my new lifeline of health. And like I said, I couldn't even I like did not have the bandwidth mentally to open my Bible. So I started saying like, Alexa, play worship music. And so it's like worship music, Christian community coming to stay with me and drinking water.
So many women are scared to ask what you asked, like for women to come over. What do you think gave you the capacity to be able to ask that? Desperation, or just like, I hear from women so much where they're like, I just don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to ask. And it's like, what if they don't want to come spend time with me? Or what if they don't want to do that? And it's like, what do you have to lose? You know, I mean, but sure. I'm just curious if there's any practical advice there, because so many people are scared to ask.
Yeah, I think that's such a good question. I would say number one, desperation. And I think that it's some of it's personality. Like, I'm not really afraid to ask questions or to embarrass myself or whatever. But if you are, I just want you to remember that every single woman, no matter how confident they are, no matter how much they look like they have it together, if you are willing to be vulnerable and go first, that actually might be the start of a even more depth in your relationship with them. So I would just say, put yourself out there, even though it's uncomfortable. For some of you, you might be like, I can't type that out. I just hit that voice memo button and be like, hey girl, like, and then you can word it however you want. You can be more free flowing. But it's worth the cost. And you're going to be shocked how much women are going to be like, yes, I'd love to do that. Yeah. I'd love to come like help out. And I even I got this, do you know Rachel Autry? Okay. So Rachel, okay. Yeah. So Rachel also lives in Birmingham, and she gave me this idea. She has a note in her phone where she's written down people that have even just said in passing, like, if you ever want somebody to walk the dog, let me know, or I'd love to babysit or whatever. Start a note in your phone and start writing down either the people that God brings to mind or things that people have said they want to help you with. And don't be afraid to use it, because you're actually, the more that I'm thinking about this, I'm like, you're robbing that person of the opportunity to serve you. And the Lord like built relationships this way. Like Justin Whitmore early talks about how we're in an epidemic of loneliness right now. So it's not just you that feels lonely. It is most humans. Yeah.
It's like, I tell college freshmen going to school, I'm like, everyone feels awkward. Like, everyone's starting over. It's the same for women. Like in new motherhood.
Yes.
New marriage, all the things, like everyone feels awkward. No one knows what they're doing. So just reach out. But that's such a hard thing for people to do. And I think, like, for me, I've had to accept help because of my own health and literally not being able to do things and like have people bring food. And I remember at first, like, that was just such a hard thing to do. And then I was like, wait, they want to help. I'm robbing them of wanting to help me if I don't let them come over.
Exactly.
Yeah, but people wait until it's desperation, really. And then you're at such a worse place when you could just ask the people around you that love you to step in and help. And that's what you did.
Well, and don't be afraid. I feel like a lot of times people are like, but I don't want them to come in my house. Okay, invite them over on the back porch, or like have them on the front porch, or they don't have to come in your house. But guess what? Even if they do, they're gonna be like, oh good, she's human too. She also has dishes in the sink or whatever it is, you know? Like, that going first is really huge. I've had other friends tell me, well, we just don't invite you guys over because that's just not our personality. Well, it's really not anyone's personality. So sometimes you just got to suck it up and go first.
You just got to do it. Yeah. There's it's not always going to be, this week's podcast, the one that drops tomorrow, is on hospitality. And my friend Ann said, she was like, she used to have people like go open a closet to show them that she had literally stuffed everything in that closet so that they would feel human. And they're like, oh, that just, okay.
I love that.
But we need that. We need that. Like, we don't need this fake culture anymore. So.
Yes, especially with social media. I feel like now you need that humanness even more desperately because everyone's showing their best. And that's one thing that in my mind, I've been like, that's one thing I want to start working even into my Instagram stories once a week or once every 2 weeks, because that is my full-time job. Like, y'all, I'm on social media all the time, not because I want to be, but because it is my job. And so I was thinking, like, I need to start showing one messy area of my home or of my life, because I don't want people to think that I'm perfect or that they're abnormal or whatever, because we all got that mess. We all got that closet.
Yeah. And I think that is an advantage I've had in the world that we live in with the conferences. I've seen the real side of people. Like, I remember the first time we had Candace Cameron Bure, and she got so nervous, and I was like, you're nervous, like you're actually nervous to get on stage in front of people. Now in front of a camera, she can do whatever, whenever, but like getting up in front of people talking genuinely makes her nervous. And I was like, oh,
okay,
I can get up in front of people. I don't want to be on camera, but I can get up in front. Like it, you need to see those things and realize that people are human. And so, yeah, it really matters. And that the influencer culture has gone off the rails with perfection and
no doubt.
What is it called? Not the algorithm, the aesthetic. My 14-year-olds talk about the aesthetic.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And they don't even have Instagram.
Yikes.
But anyway.
Yes. So
postpartum, because you recognized where you were truly. What grace did you learn that you had to have for yourself in that season?
Oh gosh, I'm like so much.
So
I guess I'll explain a little bit more about my story with that. So I think I started to tell the story and then I got distracted by 15 stories later. I'm like, as things go when you have a conversation. But when I was in the hospital bed and the nurse was telling me like, and you know, it's required. They have to tell you like, these are the signs of postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And I literally remember thinking, lady, this is not going to apply to me. Like I am Heather Brown and I am the Energizer Bunny and I am so positive and I have a great group of friends and I'm going to be just fine. Well, lo and behold, Heather was not just fine. I remember thinking like, please leave so I can go back to sleep. I'm so tired. But I think that that's even like a whole new level of where I first started to learn about how important sleep was. Whereas before I had been like, oh, sleep's kind of like a bonus if you have time. No, God designed sleep for a reason. But anyway, so I think that then after I got home and did start crying literally 4 and 5 times a day, which is not my personality at all. And I was like, Eric, something's wrong with me to my husband. Like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what's going on. Like, I just want to feel like me again. And so I went to my OBGYN for you have a 2-week checkup. I don't know if you still do or not, but if you have a 4th degree, then you have a 2-week checkup. And she was like, well, you're healing beautifully. Like, how are things going? And I said to her, well, I just want to know what I'm going to feel like myself again. And her comment was, okay, well, we're going to start you on an antidepressant. And I was kind of like, whiplash. Like,
wait, jump.
Wait, what? And so now knowing what I know, there's so many other questions I would have asked and things that I would have done differently. But at the time I didn't really question things. This was pre-2020. And so like Heather was very naive. And I was very just like, okay, well, the lady in the white coat said to do this. I'm going to do this. So I started on, I don't remember the name of it. It was a very, very popular antidepressant. And I do think that it like helped me get over the hump. However, going back now, I think that I wish that I would have known to like go outside and get sunlight more often and I couldn't move my body, but could I even just like, I don't know, like, could I have scheduled therapy or could I have started having friends come over sooner? Like, there's so many things that you can do now, supplements that you can take. If you talk to any holistic provider, they can tell you so many things. It's wild. But anyway, all that to say, I had to come to the reality that I also have weaknesses for the first time. And I know that you know too. Anyone that's been through a health scare or a health journey, it's like, oh, it's like where the rubber meets the road, where you're like, I am not invincible. I thought from, from like age 12 until whenever it hits you in life, you're not invincible. And so I was like, Lord, I literally have to depend on you for my next breath and for the next breastfeeding and for the next what have you. And you asked a question earlier, and I kind of want to circle back to that. That was when I feel like the Lord started the crack in my heart and kept like teaching me like health and what you thought it was. You're not who you thought you were. Literally you need me for every single breath. You don't even realize it. And I've just sustained you so graciously. And so like the grace that the Lord gave me to open my eyes to that, to me, was like the beginning of my relationship going deeper with him. Oh, praise the Lord for that.
Deep stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you started medicine. But then you also started, like, when you could move again, you started like what did that look like practically speaking?
Yeah, well, you'll appreciate this from being in Pure Barre, but I remember you're talking about Candace Cameron Bure being nervous when she went on the stage. I remember being like, okay, like I'm gonna do wide second for the first time.
This is
how's that gonna go? Which, if you're not familiar, y'all, that means like your legs are in a wide position and you're doing squats. And so I was like, whew, please let those stitches have held, let everything go well, or what have you. Which, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're older and you have a daughter or granddaughter who's about to have a baby, please do her a favor and schedule her with someone that can help with their what is it called? Like a physical therapist for down there. Pelvic floor therapist. Dr. Steph with Pelvic PT Mama is who I go to, but I did not know to go to someone like that. And if I would have, I also feel like that would have changed the game for me. But anyway, so went back to Pure Barre, started teaching again, started taking, and started walking again. And it just very slowly, like I'll never forget, Maegan, Eric and I had our anniversary a week and a half after I had Layton. And so my first big outing was to Sprouts grocery store.
It's exciting.
It's so exciting, yes. And so, you know, there's the baby in the buggy, and I'm like, y'all, if you hadn't had a fourth degree tear, like you cannot walk normally, and you're wearing, you know, those like Depends basically, and you feel like you're a duck waddling. So I literally was like so slow, one foot in front of the other. And when we got back in the car, I just burst into tears again. I was like, Eric, there were literally grandmothers walking faster than me. And so anyway, it was a very slow build, but after I got the clear at 6 weeks, I did start back at Pure Barre, and then, you know, started walking again with a stroller. And I mean, you know how it is. You look in the mirror and you're like, whose is this body? Like, what's going on here? Like my thighs and my leg, like my stomach, like nothing looked like this before. And so I think it's just kind of like coming back to that ground zero and being like, all right, well, here we go. You just do it before you want to do it. And I think that takes a lot of, I'm like, that seems to be the theme that we keep coming back to, isn't it? Like, you don't want to reach out to the person, but you reach out to them anyway. And you don't want to be disciplined to sit down and be intentional about your week. And you don't want to move your body when you first have a baby or what have you, but you do it anyway because, like, ultimately, like, our life isn't our own. And like, God has been very clear in his word that we're supposed to be in church, in community, taking care of our bodies, like, and we do it anyway because ultimately it's his, not my own.
What did you find? So what year was this, first of all?
When I had Layton?
Yeah.
2000. If you hadn't asked me, it would have rolled right off my tongue. Okay, 2015.
2015. Okay, so you had some time pre-COVID then. I feel like COVID then threw, at least me, I mean, was it COVID? Was it a lot of other life circumstances? Do we blame everything on COVID? Who knows, right?
Sure.
But like at the end of the day, a lot of things shifted for many of us during that season of time where we're home, we're stuck, and our yard looked fabulous. It had never looked fabulous because we travel all the time, but like our bodies were just eating and just sitting and just not doing things. And I know for me, I broke my kneecap in half during that season.
Oh my gosh.
And gained 25 pounds, like, it's because I couldn't move.
Right.
And I wanted to eat cookies. Like, I just did. And I'm not even a sweets person, but like when you're kind of depressed, it was just the season that I was. But you have to choose to get up and move again when you can. And that was something that was hard for me because I was like, I don't want to do it. It hurts. But they said I could. And you got to do it. Yeah. Like, you just have to do it.
Absolutely.
No, I haven't lost every one of those pounds back, but that's not, the goal is health. And that's what you had mentioned earlier.
Yes. And I think one thing that people always say to me is like, so what do you tell the mom that has never prioritized her health and like doesn't want to and just feels like, well, that's great for you. And the thing that I always come back to is if you have kids, like your kids are watching you. And would you want your daughters to grow up and not have the energy to keep up with their kids the way they want to, and to neglect their bodies, and to neglect like not being in church or whatever it is that you're struggling with right now? If you won't do it for you, do it for your kids, because it's not just you. It's like you are the daughter of a king and you are called to, I mean, really, I mean, you actually talked about this recently on your podcast. You're the thermometer of your home. And so if your kids hear you say, like, well, we're not going to eat too much sugar, or we're not going to do this, but they watch you do something different, like, that's what they're going to model. And I think that whenever I don't want to do something, that's more so my motivation, is I'm like, I don't want Leighton and Finn to grow up and think that it's normal to either be slothful or to not invite people over or not to be hospitable. So I go out of my comfort zone because I want my kids to see those things modeled in our home. And as moms, like, that's part of what the Lord's called us to, you know?
It is. And it doesn't have to be hard. I hope that's what, as people listen to these summer episodes, like, you can make big changes simply. Like, it doesn't have to be major life shifts. It's still little bitty decisions.
Yes.
And you talk a lot about rhythms in a lot of your work. Why rhythms? Like, how have they lightened your emotional load as a whole?
Yeah, for sure. So I think that, so one of the things that I always come back to is when I started on that couch was I started calling it now the Sunday reset. And so what the Sunday reset does is it essentially is a way to, like, catch myself before I spiral too far out of health and what rhythmically is healthy for me, my husband, our marriage, our family. And I think that you can even see this in the Bible. Like, God created seasons. He created rhythms where, you know, the people worship, the people gathered together. He also designed it where he even rested, which clearly God didn't need the rest.
Right.
But he was just modeling for us what we
time and time
need to
again.
do.
He did.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So for me, that looks like on a Sunday, I have a rhythm of sitting down, and y'all, sometimes it's in a plane, and sometimes it's in the car on a road trip, and sometimes it does get to be the peaceful, serene moment with, like, my coffee and my Bible and my notebook and my calendar and all the things.
But not always.
But
Like,
not always.
Yeah.
At all. And sometimes I get to dedicate a full hour to it, and sometimes it's like, well, I got 5 minutes, so how am I going to reset quick, you know? But to me, those rhythms are what are going to catch you as a mom to help you be able to realize where there's holes, where you need help, where, like, if y'all ate takeout every night last week, what happened? And how do we adjust for that? So typically on Sundays, and some people don't want to do Sundays, they want to do Monday or Friday or whatever your day is. But that's when I'm doing the things like meal planning. And that's when I'm sitting down and saying, like, okay, Lord, I really struggled last week with not being able to cook. And it was so crazy. Like, can you help me see where those holes happen? Like, why did I get stuck? Why did we end up in the drive-thru every day? And also, like, we miss small group too. Like, there's something I'm missing here. Like, how can we adjust for that next week? And then he's maybe he even, like, shows me, like, and I also told you to talk to so-and-so, and you didn't reach out and text them or whatever. So ultimately, that Sunday reset is me sitting down rhythmically and being like, I'm going to get my meal plan together. If there's a new Bible study starting on Wednesday, I'm going to go ahead and buy the book so it's here in time. It's really looking intentionally at your week ahead and the week before and putting it before the Lord and saying, like, what could go better? How could it go better? And to me, that rhythm of meal planning and bringing my week before the Lord and planning out my workouts and getting things on the calendar is ultimately, like, what keeps us running as a family. Like, when I don't do it, the whole family feels it.
Yeah, everybody's off.
Eric will even be like, hey, I didn't get the Sunday reset text. Like, what are we doing this week? And I'm like, sorry, great question. Let me figure it out real quick. You know, it's like, now my husband and my kids even know to expect that, like, we're going to have this rhythm. This is what's going to happen. And when I fail to do it, the whole family suffers. And I don't want that.
No, it's true. And I think, too, we were, like, Monday morning confessional time here. Last night, my husband, who's sitting in here with us, helped to clear out some laundry that I was sitting there and I was mortified because I thought in this season we have someone that helps clean our house. That has not been every season, but, like, when we're both working super full time, that is the reality of what we need to survive, right?
Yes.
And so I'll sacrifice a dinner out to
Absolutely.
have someone help me in my house. But we had clothes sitting on the dining room table for a month, I think. Like, it really had been that long. And every Friday I'm like, oh gosh, she's coming again and she's going to see these clothes and she's going to think that we're awful. But it finally hit me, like, I need those clothes to be gone for my mental health.
Yes.
And, like, just taking the time yesterday I did a ton of dishes. He helped put up the laundry. I love to do the laundry. I hate putting up the laundry. Like it.
Same.
And yes,
I feel that.
I have a 12-year-old and 2 14-year-olds. You can comment that I should let them be forcing them to put it all up. But anyway, and they did help some yesterday, but it can't get behind. Like there are things that when they get behind, it messes up our mental health. Like it just does. And
absolutely.
So yeah, it made me feel, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I don't have to walk past these clothes on the table. And then, because then you don't have people over, you don't have, like, there are all these ripple effects from that. And I'm like, if I'd even sat on my bedroom floor, but I'm bad, I need that space to be clean. So anyway, that's a tangent. But it's like, if you've got stuff that has just not been done, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, just do it.
Just do the hard thing.
Yeah.
Well, and you're bringing up a good point. One thing that my husband and I have started instituting on Sundays is the question I always ask him, and it's like free reign. He can be honest with me too. What is one thing in the house right now that's driving you nuts that you'd like for us to do
That's a good
today?
question.
And so on Sundays, like sometimes he'll be like, you have piles everywhere. Like, can you just condense the piles even? I'm like, oh yeah, because you almost get blind to some of it sometimes when it's your own mess. But I'm like, if he had piles everywhere, that'd drive me up a wall too. Or sometimes it's the laundry, like you said, or organizing the game closet because every time you open it, 14 games fall out. But truly, it's like those little itty bitty things. And if we hadn't been Sunday resetting for years, I don't think we would have gotten to that question. Yeah. But that one thing has really helped us so much with the mental clutter, like you're talking about too, that just affects so much.
And I think too, we can use, everybody talks about how awful AI is and all the things, but like there's so much good to meal planning. Like just being able to put in, hey, this is what I'm thinking for dinner. What do I need to put on my grocery list? Like, and let it think for you. Like we have so much cognitive stuff that we have to carry. Let it think for us. Or I love grocery delivery. Like, what did we do before that? I mean, that $12.99 to Kroger every month is well used because we travel all the time. And so to get home on a Sunday and have groceries sitting on my front porch is amazing because then I'm not going to dinner that night. Like, just sit down and audit your life too, wouldn't you say? Like, to see what is serving me well and then what is really keeping me stuck in not being able to do more with my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is like the framework of the Sunday reset is basically asking that. So obviously, as we're recording this, the book isn't out yet, but when you go through it, it's not just a book, it's a workbook. And so every single section, like we talk about in your physical health, let's audit that. Like, how are we doing well there? What does the Bible say about your physical health? What does science say to back that up? Which that'd be cool to hear that. But then we go through those workbook type questions that are like, how can you practically apply that to your life? How do you get on your calendar? What made it hard this week? What made it easy? What do you want to replicate next week? So I really do think there's so much good to what you just said. And it's like, those are the weeks when you have an hour. When you don't have an hour, you're like, I got 5 minutes. What are we doing?
Yeah. But you've got to have a moment at least to resettle for the week and do what you need to do. Yeah.
Which actually, you're reminding me too, one thing that I do every single night to like reset my nervous system, and I should be doing it more often during the day if I have a really stressful moment. So I hope y'all can take this. And actually, we can do it live if you have time for this. But is box breathing? Are you familiar with box breathing?
Square breathing.
Yes. So that, I'm like, y'all, if it's good enough for the United States Marines, it is good enough for me. And so they get trained in box breathing to help them deal with stressful situations. And so every night as I'm falling asleep, I try to do box breathing because I feel like that's a really good way to help me kind of just like start to unpack the day and hit that depress button. And then also, I really love box breathing, but also doing breath prayers. And so even like pulling up my favorite scriptures and like inhaling and exhaling to those. So do we have time to do a box breath real quick? Okay. So if you're watching this, if you will go ahead and just everybody close your eyes, and I want you to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And we're going to take it slow. And I want you to take a big inhale, 2, 3, 4, and then hold your breath, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, 2, 3, 4, and now hold your breath, 2, 3, 4. Great. Big inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, 2, 3, 4, and then big exhale, 2, 3, 4, and then hold it, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you can close or open your eyes and then release your hands. And y'all, it's like we just did 2 rounds and I already feel way more relaxed. Like my shoulders kind of dropped. I'm like, I'm even talking slower.
I can tell you were a Pure Barre instructor by the way you do that.
And I'm like, you're like, are we doing a Pure Barre structure? But anyway, box breathing and breath prayers have been really a powerful tool for me because I think everyone always struggles with one area of their health more than another. Like some people struggle more with their discipline and spiritual health or their discipline and mental health or physical health. For me, I struggle more with my mental health and just taking the time to slow down and process emotions and like do all the things. So box breathing for me has been a really good opportunity to do that. And also like starting to just like, I used to try to always like journal these beautiful long prayers to the Lord. And now I'm just like messy, like, Lord, this was in my heart, help. And I like list it all out. And it's so freeing. It's wild.
Yeah.
So.
We can be honest. It doesn't have to be curated and perfect. And
back to the aesthetic. No aesthetics allowed in your messy journal.
Yeah. So what's one healthy habit that you would say gives the biggest return for the smallest effort?
I love that. I mean, ultimately, and y'all can roll your eyes at this, I think it's meal planning. Because I truly believe that God created food and it can be healing for your body. And so if you take the time, like you said, with AI, it can be 2 minutes. And you're like, I've got this, this, and this in the fridge, this, and this in the pantry, this, and this in the freezer. I want to make a meal plan that is, and maybe you just say, I'm trying to eat Whole Foods or whatever you're doing. I'm trying to eat keto or track macros or whatever. Make me a meal plan that uses as many ingredients that I already have plus what's on sale at Kroger or Publix or, you know, however you want to eat. Because not only does that free up my mental clutter, because like I already know what's happening every day this week. I can communicate it to my family. And now I'm nourishing my body to have physical energy. I feel like that to me is a game changer. The weeks I don't meal plan, I feel like the wheels fall off. And then suddenly it's affecting my spiritual health because we didn't make it a small group because there wasn't dinner. And so then anyway, it goes quick.
Or we end up spending a lot of money on a lot of different restaurants.
That too. For
a lot of different meals. Like it's not just dinner, right? Like there's lunch and there's
no leftovers because there's no dinner that was cooked. All the things. Yeah.
All the things. Yeah. So any shortcut that you've seen in meal planning that's been helpful?
I mean, for me, I know everybody has budget top of mind right now. And so I think that it really is shopping what you already have first. Like, to me, it's like that helps me not spend money. It takes away decision fatigue. And then you're, again, popping it in AI. And it's like, that's just a huge time saver. But then you said a general health hack too, or like, I would say also a lot of people think that they're like, I'm drinking so much water. Like, I'm just peeing it out, Great, but you're still not hydrating at a cellular level where your body can feel supported. So if you don't already do pinches of high quality sea salt, like a Redmond real salt or the Crucial 4 or Celtic salt, you can get the fancy electrolytes if that's what you want. And you're like, I cannot do salt all day long. That's fine. But I think that's such a cool biblical correlation because in the Bible, it talks about being salt and light. When you put that salt on your tongue, you almost get like this zing in your body. And so I always think about like, Lord, that's so cool about how you talk about like salt preserving like the church and just all. I'm like, okay, that's a whole nother podcast episode. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to rein it back in. But I do pinches of salt all throughout the day with my water. And then that helps me use the liquid and the water and also to be more mineral balanced. And the energy you get from that is shockingly different. So that,
and I love that because it's not expensive. Like anybody can do that.
Yes.
My dad craves salt water, which is a weird fun fact about him that he only drinks water with salt.
Oh, like he just says like pinches
literal salt, yes.
Okay.
Or a handful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually used to do that, and then my naturopath was like, you can't just do pinches and drink it down that way. And I was like, well, now I'm kind of used to it the other way, but great, I'll do that sometimes.
Interesting. Yeah, and if you can do the protein and all the things, great. But sometimes you can't, and that's okay. But when we're airing this, everyone's going to be starting to transition to think about fall and school and rhythms and all the things. And that's just the perfect time to reset things and get everything in order. Or your book comes out at the beginning of the year. Another good time. But for us, I mean, we have all the different sports and all the different things. And so my crock pot is my best friend
That's
a lot
right.
of the times during the week if we're going to eat at home. But then that requires getting up and getting all the food in the crock pot. Like there's
Yes.
all of these things. And so one of the questions I had was like, for the woman that said she's not organized, what does she do? Is that even an excuse anymore?
I mean, y'all are going to hate me, but no, I'm so sorry.
Like,
just do the hard thing.
It is. Like we have to be, moms have to be organized.
We do.
Really,
it's the burden we
parents as a
bear,
whole.
y'all.
Yeah. Like there's no.
And one other thing I will say about meal planning too is I don't want you to hear me say like you have to have 30 days planned out and freezer meals and like, because people will tell me like I hate freezer meals and I hate planning out in advance, and I'm like, well then just have your staple meals.
Yeah.
Like Eric and I have 5 to 10 meals that it's like when I'm gonna like when we've got soccer and lacrosse and he's working overnight at the hospital and just all the things, like we have our go-to meals. Like we're gonna have breakfast for dinner pretty much every week, I would say. And then we're going to have crock pot salsa chicken. Chicken, dump the salsa, crock pot, done. It's like have those basic meals on hand in your rotation that you know you can just fall back on. And then make sure your husband likes them. Like I think one of the biggest pieces that people miss in their day-to-day life is communication with their spouse and the people in their homes. So if you're having the conversation of this is what's for dinner this week, this is what's coming up, like can I have my phone? Can I read what I texted my husband last night? So I send him a text. I send it on Sunday, but I schedule it for Monday morning. So it kind of like recaps.
We just had this conversation
No
yesterday
way.
about scheduling text. Yeah.
Oh, hilarious.
I didn't even know you could do that until yesterday.
Oh, well, hey, yeah.
Welcome
Y'all,
to
if you don't know, you hit that little plus button in the bottom of your iPhone and hit send later. But it says Sunday reset dash. This is rally camp week, so he knows what the boys have going on that week. And then it says meals are leftover chicken, deli meat, and the Hunger Root meals I have scheduled. Normally I send them on what we're having each day, but this week I was lazy. So, hey, there you have it. I have Monday. Me and my sisters-in-law have a book club on Zoom. So can you put the boys to bed at 8 o'clock? Tuesday, Eric on call. Wednesday, Andrew's pool party for Finn. Thursday, we're hosting Joel and Claire Davis. Shout out. Another Lifeline friend.
Mutual friend.
Friday, we have Johnny's pool party. Eric, do you mind taking the boys to rally camp at 8:30? Because I know he's off work that day. Saturday, we're at Rick and Jennifer's lake house. It's like, that took me less than 10 minutes because... And in busy seasons, I do outsource. I'm like, okay, like we need to have Hunger Root meals delivered this week because I cannot think about it. So there are ways to shortcut. And when you meal plan, you can say Wednesday night small group, we're crazy. We're planning Chick-fil-A. But then it's planning the budget. If you're doing macros, you can plan in your macros. And then also one more tip I would give is don't be overwhelmed by macros. If you can
I was going to say, like, what's your basic level macro advice?
Yeah, I would say if you don't know where to start, just count the protein to start.
Yeah.
Like, just try to get 100 grams a day of protein if you can. That's essentially 30 grams, 20 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. If you think about a fist-sized chicken, that's probably 20 to 30 grams right there. I usually do a protein shake. I'm a big, like, tuna packet, those Safe Catch lemon pepper ones. I'll take them in the car and eat them. And then I love a Chomp's beef stick. Like, just have the protein on hand so that it's grab and go.
That's so good and easy and cheap. Like, that's not expensive things to do.
Yes, I agree.
Keeping those things around.
I have so much protein that does not require cooking. I'm like, you gotta have it or it won't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it requires an immense amount of like remembering what you ate. Even like we'll talk about that at the end of the day. Like, what did we even eat today? What did I have for lunch yesterday? I don't know. But you've got to know, like, to be able to track it and be on the right path. But
and I also think that there's seasons where that works for our life and there's seasons where it doesn't. So I think give yourself grace, and ultimately at the end of the day, if you're eating more whole foods than processed foods, some seasons just count that a win. You know, like so, and sometimes I'm like, I got in my protein for the day and I got in my steps for the day. I didn't get to the gym, but that's enough. Like,
and we have one kid that shall remain nameless, but I'll just say they, boy or girl, are in a McDonald's season of life for a meal for breakfast. And otherwise, they're not a great eater. Yeah. And so, whereas I hate McDonald's. Yeah. It's been, okay, well, we need you to eat. And this is what, and so go ahead and tell me that I'm, falling to what they want. But we need them to eat. And so there are times where it's just not going to be perfect and allowing it to not be perfect.
Agree.
But,
one of my boys actually he fell off the growth chart, and so I had to go to feeding therapy for him, and they basically were like, if all he wants to eat is saltines and chips while we get there, okay, let him. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just have to, like, that's another thing, is grace upon grace, sister. Like, hear all this, take it in, and then you spit out what doesn't serve you and your family, and just know that, I guess hopefully this encourages young moms that have kids with the same thing. Now he'll even eat grilled chicken that my husband make. That's like literally in the last month. That's like a huge big deal. But he got into McDonald's. It's kind of like some seasons you just have to do the best you can.
Just gotta
and
survive.
that's okay.
Yeah. But be sure you're not surviving forever. Like some people get stuck in this and then they're like 5 years in and they're like, oh, we're still surviving. No, like things can be seasonal. And for us, like summer is grilling. And so we grill all the time. That makes it easier to eat healthy than in the fall where we're just like, there's football, there's all the things. So as we're wrapping up, at minimum, move, we've said, right? Like move your body. That there's so much longevity. I'll put some things in the show notes. Yeah. Like it just, I mean, women need to move and we need to lift weights.
Can I say real quick? I think this is so fascinating. The average American walks between 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day. Like really? That is the average. And so it's just like, wow. Because then you look back at biblical times when Jesus was doing his ministry and going in between, he got some scholars estimate that he would have walked around 20,000 steps a day, and probably sometimes more depending on where he was traveling. Are you a
10,000 stepper?
I try to do, but it depends on the season. In my busiest seasons, I say 8,000 is enough for me. My average, I would say, is 10. And then sometimes when I'm like, I'm going to be at soccer practice all the time, just pounding out those steps, I'm like 12 to 15,000 steps a day is my goal.
Yeah. We discovered last year, like if your kids are at practice, walk around the building they're in. Literally. Like there's no need to not, it's not an excuse to say, oh, I'm just going to sit here in my car and scroll on Instagram. No, put in a podcast.
And speaking of which, we talked about going out of your comfort zone. I have started challenging myself. Instead of scrolling on my phone, even while I'm walking, I will ask another mom, hey, I'm going to walk some laps. Do you want to come with me? And I've actually made really cool friendships through doing that. So put yourself out there on that.
Yeah, give somebody else the opportunity to join you. And then food wise, meal plan. We said that's the most important thing that we can do.
It is. And get that protein. I mean, it's going to make you have more energy. You're going to feel better. You'll be able to keep up with your kids better. You won't be having huge blood sugar spikes and feeling like I need a nap all the time.
Because you talk about like wanting to be fun grandparents. That starts now. Like literally. To those of us that are midlife, like that's, we're either going to be that person or we're not based on the decisions we're making right now. And so, yeah. And then when you add travel, like we were just talking before we started recording, like October is crazy for us. We shop at the grocery store where we travel, and then we eat a lot in the room and stay at the Residence Inn so we can have access to a kitchen. But like it requires immense discipline during those weeks to not just gouge and eat Burger King and all the things all the time, because it's easy. Like things are not easy. And so, but sometimes ordering takeout from a nice restaurant is a good win. And so anyway, all the things we could go on and on.
I think what you're saying though really is you choose your hard. Like
you do.
You're either going to choose the hard thing of meal planning, getting your steps and all that stuff now, or you're going to choose potentially like medical disaster and medical bills and not having the mobility to go on the floor and all the things later. So I would rather choose the hard now where I'm getting to choose it versus it being chosen for me.
We say in adoption world a lot, pay now, pay later. Like in attachment, just in all the things, like with your kiddos. And same true for our bodies, right? Pay now, pay later. That's or good. John Acuff, shout out, our friend.
Love
he
him.
Says some beats none, right? So some movement, some riding, some whatever you're trying to do, some beats none. He has like sweatshirts with it on there.
Oh, I love that.
They're cute. Yeah. So yeah, really matters. He's a Birmingham guy too.
Oh yeah, I've had him on my podcast back in my emails days. We used to go see him at Dave Ramsey. Great guy.
Shout out to John.
That's right.
Well, last question we ask every guest: what is something in your life that's bringing you unexpected joy in this season?
Ooh, I love that question. This is super random, but both my boys have always played soccer, and my husband played soccer at Samford, and soccer's just always been part of our life. But my 7-year-old has started playing lacrosse this past season. And so it's been really fun to start a new sport, and it's challenging my husband to get up to speed. And so we've started going out in the driveway, all of us, with lacrosse sticks and passing, and then getting involved in like a new community of people that aren't just our soccer people, you know? So I would say lacrosse and pickleball in the driveway are like some of my favorite times right now. It's so
Summer
rejuvenating.
nights. It's so great that the sun doesn't set till later.
Agree.
I dread winter already. Oh, well, thank you, Heather. This is so much practical knowledge for moms and women everywhere. So thankful for you.
Well, today was a blast. Thank you so much, Megan, for having me. And y'all, thank you for tuning in. I love it so much. Do you care if I close this in prayer?
No, please.
Okay. Dear Lord, thank you so much for just the opportunity to be here, and for Megan's intentionality to pour into all of the women of joy. Lord, I pray that they would leave this podcast feeling joy-filled and hopeful, not only just in their physical health, but in their mental health and their spiritual health, Lord, that it would be uplifting. And God, that more than anything, you would just help them to feel that they are loved, they're a daughter of a king, they are called, and they are chosen for the walk of life that they're in today. Their presence matters, and their ability to do the hard thing matters, Lord. Give them just immense courage to do those hard things. And we love you so much. We pray that you would just bless this day and go forth. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thanks,
friend.
Thank you for listening to my conversation with Heather Brown. I feel like I'm leaving with so many practical ideas of what to do to really own this fall and eat at home, meal planning, like what does God have to do with all this? So much good. I hope that you stayed in to listen till the end, and you must have, because you're still here. You can get all the information about Heather's new book that'll be out at the beginning of the year at healthybyheatherbrown.com/reset. And also you can find all of these things listed in our show notes, how to pre-order the book, any of that, and just some different studies that we referenced during the episode. We want to equip you with all of that to be able to help it make sense for your life. So check out the show notes below, and we hope to see you at a Women of Joy live event soon.